Let's see. All right. Let me get this what's called started. My intro. All right, let's go. Um, I'm back. Second day in a row. I just wanna so Gray, I thought you weren't gonna make it today. You said you was gonna watch it later. I'm glad you're here. Um, yeah, second day in a row. I wanna I got so many things to talk about, and I'm like going through a brain fog thing. But yeah, I want to talk about things that Undisputed can add. Oh, definitely, you could call in. You could call in. I can put you on. Um, yeah. I want to talk about Undisputed. I want to talk about Undisputed. I want to talk about you know, people trying to add things into real life boxing like it's a video game. What the heck are you doing? That's what I always say. Everybody that comes in the kitchen shouldn't have a say so in how it's being made. A lot of people shouldn't have a say so and stuff. It's like that little kid, you got that friend that they like go overboard with something. You let them in to play with you or let them into your house, then they start doing stuff that they ain't supposed to be doing. It's crazy. It's like with the boxing, now they trying to say everything is running should be a run. And this is something with show business. This is something with show business doing. I'm trying to see it's doing something different today. Hold on, give me a second. I guess oh yeah, okay. Hold on. All right, you here? Leafy, you here? You're unmuted. Yeah, you here? Wonder what's still muting you. Oh, you should
Hello?
be. Oh yeah, you're unmuted. Yeah, I was just talking about how people trying to add on things to real boxing like it's a video game, and I hate trying to really call out names because that seems like I'm trying to piggyback off of their fame, but no, guys like Showbiz, I respected him at one time, but it seemed like he's going overboard to get views and get people behind him. His arcade, he's like,
Yeah, his
what would you say?
his no running rule. It's not a great example of boxing. Like he's trying to enforce like a no running rule, but when he's talking about it, he uses the UFC as an example. Like martial arts and boxing are two different things. And like yeah, the guy was running in the video, but he didn't show a good clip of boxing or his no box or no running rule in boxing. Like it doesn't make sense what he's trying to do now.
Yeah, it doesn't because he's talking about a no running rule, and he's going by what the I hate this really keeps calling everybody casual, but casual fans, because their impression of boxing should be like the same impression in all combat sports, but all combat sports have different rules and different things that makes it the sport. And my thing
Yeah,
is, and my thing is, it's some people that he say are running and they're not running because how are they getting all those punches off? Why is their punch stats so high, but they're running? And then you
if
got to
they were
also,
running, they'd have a low punch count.
yeah, and you got to also blame the opponent who's not cutting off the ring and maneuvering to get that person. If he was physically running with his back turned to you, I'm pretty sure the referee would stop that and start taking points and stuff. He's doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing too much. He's like trying to make let MMA be MMA and let boxing be boxing. Stop trying to
Exactly.
intertwine them together. People like variety. Yeah, so yeah, I want to talk about like some ideas. I like how you keep adding on to your ideas too. But I'm talking about some ideas that Still City they could add to their game. Oh boy. Give me a second.
Yeah. I'm willing to talk about like ideas. I mean, I've had lots of ideas for Undisputed that I'd like to see them try to implement in future updates.
Yeah. You could talk. I'm answering a phone call. You could talk. Talk about your
All
ideas.
right. Okay. Okay. So the ideas that I've had for Undisputed, and I've seen the fact that they want to make a realistic simulation boxing game. Ashibi said it himself that he wants Undisputed to be the 2K of boxing. So with that in mind, I would like to see a pivoting input. Pivots would allow the players to get angles on the boxer.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm face to face with a guy and we're boxing and I'm trying to get on the outside. Can I just pivot, on like a 45 and punch on that angle? A good example of a game that does this is Bloody Knuckles Street Boxing by Love Seat Shoddy. He's made a 3D boxing. I don't even call it a game. It's kind of like a simulation at this point, and it has pivoting inputs, and you can pivot to get off on the angle and throw a strike. That's something I'd like to see on Sweden implement is a pivot input. Now, with the current control scheme, they can't implement it because all the buttons are used up. So they have to modify the current inputs in order to, supplement this pivot input. So the first control option would be face button punches, and your right stick would control the pivots. So flicking it left would pivot your guy out towards the left-hand side. Flicking it to the right would pivot your guy to the right-hand side. That would be config number 1. Face button punches, right stick controls your pivot. Config number 2 would be right stick punches, and then X and B would control your left and right pivots. The reason why you would just be X and B, because I'm not trying to cut away or trying to break try to cut it short, because I know you can pivot in more ways than just left and right. But to get an angle, you at its core, you just go to the left side or you go to the right. So that's why X and B would control your pivots. Y and A, I don't think they would have an input value on those for this new control scheme for Undisputed if they do want to implement pivoting. The Y and A would be unbound. They could figure out something with Y and A if they want to add pivoting. I don't know what they'd want to do with Y and A, because left and right pivoting sounds good already on paper. So that's my first idea. Revamp the control scheme to not be so much like Fight Night. Try to implement pivoting into your control scheme.
Yeah, I
The
think
second idea.
sorry for cutting you off. My thing is if I could figure out I'll be grabbing stuff. If I could figure out that you could pivot, why can't these guys that's professionals that's getting paid and they're not figuring out pivoting and stuff like that. That's crazy. Makes no sense. What are they
I
getting
think it's
paid
just,
for? What'd you say?
I mean, I think they're just getting paid to make a game, not trying to put, like, I'm not taking credit away from the devs. You know, they do work hard on this game, or on
Mm-hmm.
Undisputed, or on EA UFC, but it feels like they aren't trying to innovate in a space that's been empty for a long time. Like I said yesterday, the last major boxing game was Fight Night Champion. Undisputed, yes, it does have new mechanics. Like you can do those directional dodges by clicking the left stick in and flicking it. But that's, I mean, I'm not trying to take away any work, but that's like the only new thing I see in the boxing game. So I don't know. I just I just wish they would try to be more innovative and not directly copy the Fight Night controls, because that's what I've seen in Undisputed. They've copied the Fight Night control scheme, and now that kind of limits your ability to innovate on what you can do. I think they should rethink what they have for controls and have only face buttons or right stick on punches, depending on your control scheme layout. And then
Yeah,
whatever is not being used for punches, that'll be your pivot input.
yeah, facts. My thing is they can, make something very, major, like far as control schemes, but it's like a lot of fans were saying early in development. I remember they said, "Give us a control scheme like Fight Night," and my thing, I was getting upset because stop making everything Fight Night. Let these developers make their own game. We don't want another company to make Fight Night. Let EA have Fight Night. Let them make what they're gonna do with Fight Night. Oh, cause that shows what your mind is focused on and what you figure you're good at. Fight night controls. No, let them have their own control controller scheme. Excuse me, own controller schemes. And if they're gonna have a fight night controller scheme, let that be an option. But they should have their own control scheme. Because in the beginning, I saw some stuff. I was like, wow, this game is like, it seemed like the boxers was pivoting. Sometimes, like in real life, their feet, if they're too close to each other, their feet would like kind of tangled, like like boxers' feet get tangled sometimes. They had these things in the
Yeah,
game, and now it's like they took all these things out of the game, and it seemed like that was espionage, sabotage, or whatever you want to call it, that came in there, took these things away from Ash. And I try not to blame Ash for a lot of things because Ash don't have um he doesn't have the industry knowledge. He doesn't have gaming knowledge. He's a gamer, but he's not part of the industry. He is now, but he didn't come into making games as an industry vet. He got vets around him that could scheme him or make him Ash, we can't do this. Let's do it like this. But if Ash was an industry vet and he had vets around him, he'd be like, "Nah, we could do this, and we could do that." But Ash, like, yeah, he feel like he has to agree because it helps him get a game. He has a game that's being made, and I got
yeah,
this, and this is what other people were telling me that's in the industry. They saying Ash is accepting what these people are telling them instead of saying, "No, that's not what I want." And they taking advantage of it. I feel like, yo, it's a lot of things I see that it seems like Ash is being taken advantage of, and somebody should say something, especially his daughter, because if that's his daughter, if she a lawyer, should be looking over different things and saying what's going on, because this
Mm-hmm.
game was like right there. And when we had them betas, them two betas, I can't remember which one was the best, but when we had those two, they could have built off of that instead of making a big turn to something else. The game, a lot of people saying, "Oh, this realistic. I like how this is being done." They liked that. It was a lot of people. What sold the game is when Ash kept talking about realism and what the game was, what he wanted in the game, and people he pulled in all these people. Now people, even the boxers, they like, well, my character in the game, I gotta help sell the game. You don't really, when I see look at these boxes, I don't really see passion like I see somebody playing Madden, like basketball players playing Madden. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
football players playing Madden. Forgive me. Football players playing Madden. Basketball players playing NBA 2K. You see passion when they playing the game. When they playing undisputed, it's like it's like they like not happy but not happy. And my
It's
thing,
like they're having fun for like two. Sorry, go
would
ahead.
you say no? Go ahead. What you were saying?
It's like I've seen videos of boxers playing undisputed, like from the channel itself. It looks like they're only having fun for like one round, and then the rest of it's just like, oh wow, like it's not captivating to real boxers who want
Yeah,
a game that will represent their sport accurately.
yeah, and you know what was funny to me? Sean Porter says he doesn't play the game at all. It doesn't interest him, and that's crazy. If it's your sport
Yeah.
and it's done right, no, if you're a gamer or not, it should interest you to want to play it.
Mhm.
Because I'm not a basketball player, or I'm not really a huge fan of basketball, but 2K at on one point made me want to play it. Baseball, I'm not a baseball fan at all, but when you look at how they do made the game, it made me interested. I probably stray and look at a baseball game or something because the game did certain things right. But you see, in
Yeah.
Undisputed, they doing too many things, like going in an arcadish route, and people like, and my thing is the boxers got to be more vocal. They got to speak out, and
I
they need to add Coach Anthony and Eddie Chambers to help make the game. They want to help make the game. It's so many people that want to help make this game that's in the boxing industry that it seemed like somebody in their studio pushing them out. Not, no, we don't need them in here. Why? Why should we have them in here? Everybody don't want to get paid for what they love, because that's some people.
mhm.
That's the mindset they try to push on us. No, we ain't got enough money to pay these boxers to be in the studio and stuff. No, a lot of them, for one, they're getting paid off their characters. They might not want the extra money. They probably just want the game to succeed because it helps them get more money.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on over there. I hope they pull their heads out of their you know what and just realize that they need boxing historians, boxing coaches, and real boxers with them in the studio,
Yeah,
giving them feedback.
because
Like
their thing
this
is,
might be too far, but
would you no? Would you
like
say?
it might be going overboard with this, but they should be in the developer studio. They should be at the computers trying to tweak things for the developers as they're making these update changes. They should be able
Exactly.
to play the older versions of Undisputed to see what it was like before and tell them, hey, you guys had it really good in beta 1. this felt like real boxing. And personally, I would want them to roll back to the Beta 1 build, update the roster to the current roster, and then expand upon Beta 1. Beta 1 was probably the most realistic build we've had by Steel City Interactive, a playable public build, not a private build that was only shown on YouTube, but a build that you could play.
Yeah, and it's a lot of people like content creators that went up there. They said it was a totally different game than what we've been seeing. They said they had a lot of things in there that they did right, and they had that build was good, but y'all never saw it, and that's bad. And I'm like wondering why they keep pushing the boxes out, because every studio does it. They have actual basketball players and football players and baseball players in the studio, and they're right there. You have the historians or whatever. They're right there by you. They can help do it instead of waiting till after you did something, and then the person say, "Well, no, that's not right." Then you're gonna wait like 2 or 3 more
Mm-hmm.
patches down the line to fix it. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
If they're doing development, that helps a lot. And I remember I
Mm-hmm.
asked somebody that question, one of the developers of Steel City, when we had that the I think it's the one time or the 2 times that they did actually talk um to the gamers. Like we was asking them questions, and me, I asked some good questions, and I said, why don't you have boxes in the studio? And they said, no, we don't need boxes in the studio. We have boxes, but we don't need them right there in the studio. They could get feedback
What?
after the product is developed, and that makes no sense whatsoever.
That's not how you're supposed to go about it. If you want to make a really good boxing game, let the boxers watch you work on the game and let them test it. Like even
Exactly.
little changes, let them test that and let them see what you're doing and have them give you input. Sure, they aren't game developers, but they're boxers. They know what boxing is like. Let them talk to you in the studio. Let them see what you're trying to do and let them make changes. Let them help you. Don't push them out. If you push out real boxers and you're trying to make a realistic boxing game, that's not going to help out. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to go with your own mindset and not what boxers would like.
Exactly. Like if you're not good at something, you're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna change it so what I feel is comfortable. No, you let the boxers do it,
Not.
and then you learn it.
Mhm.
Video games is about learning stuff. That's what a lot of people do. They learn certain moves, learn certain things how to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, let me
You
see.
can't. You can't just.
You go ahead and talk. I'm
Can't
looking.
just make it. Oh, sorry. What?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay. They can't just make it a game where they can win. They can't make it a game where it should be like easy to win or like you don't have to know boxing. I believe Undisputed it should be like what Ash wanted, what Ash was wanting, a tactical boxing game. It needs to be tactics. You need to learn how to use your footwork, how to use your head movement properly, how to block properly, not holding block, and learning how to fill combos and getting out and using your movement effectively. Not not some Street Fighter where you want to combo your jab into a Hadouken. I mean, I'm over exaggerating when I say that, but that's
Yeah, that bugs me out. Yeah, yeah, here goes some of the stuff that I have on my wish list. It's on my boxing video blueprint wish list site. Um and I'm trying to get the developers to look at it. and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're really looking at it because I got like Ringmaster building cards. Making actual you setting up fights basically. Like you say, all right, I want to build this card with this fight on it, that fight on it. That's a thing that could be online or offline. But you could start
Mm-hmm.
off with it being offline. See, everything that they got offline, they people thinking that it could be just no, it could that's an offline mode. No, it could be an offline or online mode. It just had to be restructured right. Like a
Mm-hmm.
career mode. That could be online mode too. And to
And the
me, that'd
online
be a
career
great
mode,
idea. Would you
yeah.
say?
And like they had a they had a mode where you could walk around the gym. Like old
Yeah,
ESPC footage, it showed Canelo. I think it was Canelo Alvarez, and he was walking around in the gym to like a heavy bag. Where's that?
yeah.
That would be
They
so cool to have a 3D a gym environment you can be in, and your fighter would walk to it, and you could train in.
yeah. That's so a lot of us saw that. Well, a lot of us be like people that really paying attention to things and they're like, "Where's that? That I know that's supposed to have been in the game." Somebody in on the team said, "Nah, we don't need to put that in there. Maybe we put it, later or something like that." And my thing
Mm-hmm.
is that would you need things like that to innovate the game to make people be like, "Wow, this game gonna be deeper than what we really think it's gonna be." Now people like kind of
Exactly.
giving up hope. They giving up hope on this game.
They're going
And
back to Fight Night. Before we were like, no, let's leave Fight Night behind. We don't need that anymore. But now it's like this game is not good. I'm just gonna play Champion again. So something else pops up. We need to
yeah,
prevent regression. We need to evolve past Fight Night. I get it's a good arcade boxing game, and people like it because of, I'm not trying to be rude, because of nostalgia.
yeah,
But there
and
needs to be a game
and
that's
it's
a
a
team
more
fight.
complete game. It's a complete game too.
Mm-hmm.
Undisputed is
Yeah.
not. You could tell it's not finished. And my thing
Yeah.
is, you sold a unfinished game for full price. That should make people mad. It's literally unfinished. It's too many problems in this game for you to have sold it for the price you sold it for. And you call yourself an indie
$70.
company. Yeah. And they call themselves an indie company. Most indie companies sell their product for less than what the triple A and double A companies sell it for. It was like a big hustle move. That's what it felt like. I hate to call Ash himself a hustler, probably the people around him, but I hate to call Ash because the Ash sounded genuine when we talked about him. He said really didn't care about the money. He just wanted the game to be the game that he wanted it to be. He wanted the realistic
Mm-hmm.
boxing game. And that's crazy how things turned around. All right, let me see.
It's not. It,
On my wish list, I got the Mayweather Dynasty DLC. That that could be a good idea, and I think that could bring in a lot of money. But the thing is, ain't no use having Floyd Mayweather or his uncles, and they don't fight like how they fight. They're like
mm-hmm.
a cardboard carbon copy of somebody else. The only thing that probably look like Mayweather is they probably got his Philly shell, and that doesn't make Mayweather. Mayweather got more tools to how he fight. But then let me see
Yeah.
another. What you want to say?
I said you brought up like two good points just now, and I kind of want to talk about those. Number one, indie studio. A lot of people are making the excuse that Unspeeded is an indie game studio. They have ex-EA devs. They're charging $70 for a full price or for an unfinished product. They're charging AAA prices for an unfinished game. They have a roster on the same level as what you'd see in Fight Night. The same amount of fighters. They have Muhammad Ali. They have to pay a ton of money to lock him in for 15 years, 12 years to being undefeated. Indie game studios can't pay that much money to have Muhammad Ali in the game for X amount of years. You might as well call them a AAA studio.
Yup, you're right.
They're
100%.
doing AAA studio things. You
You
can't make an
100%.
excuse for them anymore.
No, you're right. You 100% right. And my thing is, they paid all that money to have Muhammad Ali in all them years, and that to me that's kind of scary because you didn't fix your game yet, and you thinking about the future. If your game is not good, it's no future for your game. That's a waste of money
Exactly.
because you could have used
It
that
is.
money. They could have used that money to get more developers. The bigger your team, the more you can do. And stop hiring all EA people that used to be working for EA. Why you not mixing no
They
NBA?
could have.
I mean, no 2K people in there. Why you ain't mixing people from other game companies in there? Because there's a lot of developers out of work. I'm on LinkedIn literally every day or 2 or 3 times a day, and I'm like, yo, why nobody's hiring these guys? And these guys are very talented. And I tell them like I tell anybody, if you've been at a game studio that long, and there's so many of y'all don't have a job, why don't y'all just link together and make your own games? Stop
That's
begging
what
these
I've. That's
companies.
what I've been wanting. Remember
But just
yesterday when we were talking about THQ, like when they
yeah,
shut down?
yeah,
It would be cool to see those developers get back together and try to make their own MMA game with like the One Fighting Championship licensing or something like that, because they made really good MMA games.
yeah. They do.
Like
They
I
really
felt
do.
like those games, as a guy who does martial arts, and I know you're a boxer, but as a guy who does martial arts, those games really represented like me in a way, because I love martial arts and I love boxing. Let me make that clear. I love boxing. I also love martial arts. Those MMA games they made for the UFC, those really represented UFC. It felt like MMA.
Yeah,
So I'd love to see those guys get back together for an MMA game or a kickboxing game or a boxing game. The more boxing games or more kickboxing games, better. We should
yeah.
have more games that try to be realistic from old devs, ex-developers who did it right.
You're right. Because in THQ they actually have an offshoot studio that they had that they've I forget that what's let me look it up right quick. But THQ they're still out there, but not the major company. It's like an offshoot that they have.
Yeah,
It's called THQ Iceland or something like that.
THQ Nordic.
Yeah, Nordic.
I
That's
think it's Nordic.
exactly it. Yeah, but they're still around, but not in that aspect. Not in that. They're not doing stuff like that. But I like because I even though I box, my family has a martial arts background. I like martial arts. I was always watching martial arts movies and everything. I love martial arts. I could do martial arts. Like when Bruce Lee was doing his when he used to put his head to his knees when he was stretching and stuff. I did all that stuff. People used to get weirded out, like you a boxer and you doing stuff that martial arts people do. And I had to split. I could split and everything. People like, what are you doing? Boxers don't do that. But that's the background was brought up in. So that I think that helped me in boxing
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. But yeah, I love martial arts, but I want a boxing game, and I know you're like fully fledged in stuff, everything. You basically the kind of
Mm-hmm.
the reverse me, you in martial arts, and that's your yeah what a discipline. And boxing
Yeah.
is my discipline, but I like the other sport too.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love boxing. I have nothing against boxing, even though it's a martial artist. I think it's awesome seeing
yeah,
boxers get in the ring and fight it out.
yeah. Cause my brother, he made
That's
me like, I, I was like, wow, how did you transfer from martial art? Cause he's a teacher too. How you come? He
mhm.
was a young martial arts teacher. But I was like, how do you know, that difference? That because a lot of people can't come from martial arts right to boxing because they're so disciplined in that martial arts and they're gonna do a lot of things wrong. That's why when martial artists or MMA fighters come to boxing, they have a hard time because the setups and
Yeah.
everything is different. So unless they had that in their training, actual boxing in their training. So but I'm like it's hard to like I was like, how do you do that? My brother's like, I was always a student of everything. And I was like, wow. Cause I seen people that coming that used to try to like people that was martial artists coming there and try to spar one of us and they was actually trying to box. It didn't end well. It didn't end well. Especially me. It was a to me the guy was he was I think 156 and I was like 192. And he was like, "No, I'm a
Oh,
black belt and this and that." And he said, "Yeah, we could spar and stuff." And I was like, my uncle named we called him Big Man. I was like, "Big Man, you sure you want me to spar this guy?" He said, "Hey, he want to spar you. Let his crazy butt get in there then." And I got in there, and he was like, he ain't know what the heck was going on because I think I stopped him in the first round. We were sparring. I stopped him in the first
wow.
round. and and the way we sparred, it was technically like fighting, and I used to hate that, but that's that Philly style. Because in Philly, you could get knocked out in sparring and fighting the next day. That's how rough Philly sparring used to
Yeah.
be, and I
Uh-huh.
always had that mindset. So when I used to spar like Shannon Briggs and Ray Mercer and all that went out the door. You better calm down because they're going for the if you going for the kill, they going for the kill. And I was like,
Yeah.
that
Whatever you're
changed.
gonna do, they're gonna do right back.
Yeah, so that changed real quick. I was like, I gotta calm my butt down sparring these guys. Nah, because I remember one time I hit Ray Mercer, I thought I knocked him out because they made a loud noise. It's like, bow.
Mhm.
I said, oh, I turned around. I never forget that. Sometimes I say it over and over, but I never forget that because I'm like, Dad, he took that shot. And it was well placed and everything. I was like, bow, hit him. Even though we got bigger gloves when you sparring, but I was like, bow, hit him. And I turned around and he tapped me on the shoulder. He said, what you think you doing? I said, oh. And Shannon
Oh,
Briggs,
I didn't knock you out.
what'd you say?
He's like,
What'd you
oh, I guess I didn't knock you out. You're still
say?
standing.
Yeah. Yeah, he said, oh, you thought you knocked me out or dropped me on. I said, I sure did. And Shannon is younger than me, but Shannon was skilled. He's athletic. He's like very
Mhm.
athletic. He's like tall, slim. I hate it when Shannon start packing that muscle on because if you was knocking people out while you didn't have all that extra bulky muscle on you, you shouldn't have to bulk up to get them knockouts. Because speed comes power. That's what I always learned.
Yeah.
Speed with power. People think power is like you pull.
Mhm.
Oh, that's why when people be saying, "Oh, when they put certain punches in there, they should make the sound," or that's not always power. It's people that I seen
Mhm.
people get knocked out even in boxing. What's called with the 6-inch punch? It was Joe Louis. Yeah, Joe Louis with the 6-inch punch. That's a short punch. He just turned right over right there, knock you out. And one of my the people that trained with me, he did it and showed that it worked because he knocked this. He was a 156 pounder, and the guy was a super heavyweight, and they were sparring, and he turned the shot over real short like Joe Lewis, and it knocked him out. I was like, yo, he knocked the joke out and sparring one of the big heavyweights that I like struggle with. He knocked him out. And I'm like, God, dog. I said that jump really works.
I'll have to look at that 6-inch punch, Joe Louis.
Yeah, it's like a 6-inch punch. Like he turned it over real quick right there. And I'm like, these the thing. These the stories and things. If you had boxers in the studio, that they would be telling them. Like when they had Joe Louis, a lot of people say, "Oh, this fighter looks good." No, they got like a couple of things that the fighter does that make you think that he's doing what he does in real life. There's so many things missing. Even Roy Jones, even though he did his motion cap, Roy Jones is old. You gotta get this. The technology exists. That's what I'm gonna keep saying in every show. The technology, excuse me, the technology exists for them to get any motion, or even if a person is not here any longer, if they're dead, they could get the person styled down pat, make it realistic. The technology exists.
Yeah.
And I don't post it numerous times. They got people in the Discord and online repeating what the developers said. I keeps telling them the developers don't want to do extra work. They trying to do as less work as possible, and they don't even want to do the research on that. But it exists for them to make a boxing game as realistic as they want.
All they need to do is put their mind to it. They just need to try as hard as they can.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I feel like they should try to have unique animations for all the boxers.
Yeah.
Like if the boxer is still here with us and they can still box, mocap them. And if they're not with us or they're unable to box due to an injury, have your team look out footage of when they were in their prime. Have a guy in the motion capture suit replicate those punches, and then have animators tweak those keyframes to get more in line with how the videos were looking. Because I think every boxer should have their own animation, even if it doesn't look that different. Then you'll have there's like subtle things people do when they're boxing, even if it looks the same. There's subtle things in their shoulders or the way their arms are moving or their feet when they're just in an idle stance.
Exactly. It makes because it's things that these developers can do because it seems like they're trying because animators still exist, and you got the people that they still clean up when they do motion cap. The animators still got to do some cleanup work.
Yeah.
So my thing is, you got to do part old school how you used to do it back in the days, and you got to do it with the modern day technology. Because you keep saying, "Well, we couldn't do this and we couldn't do that." No, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. Because I'm pretty sure at this point, and EA see us complaining, and if 2K they keep saying they want to make a boxing game, and I keep telling them I keep texting them or emailing them, make a boxing games. Let people complain about you don't have real boxers, but if your boxers look good and fight good, boxers gonna be begging to be in your game, and people gonna buy the game. They're gonna complain about you not having real boxers, but they're gonna still buy the game. They're gonna be like, look how good this box is. Now they're gonna say, look how good this boxer is. Now they're gonna keep complaining to the company that they want this boxer, that boxer, and what they're gonna actually do, they're gonna do you're gonna get the fans to do the work for you. Fans gonna start asking
Mhm.
boxers to be in the game. That's why I
Yeah.
say, why don't y'all have me on your companies? Why don't y'all have me on your team? These things I've been thinking about for years and years. I'm like, far as y'all marketing, I don't like how Undisputed doing their marketing, and I didn't like
Mhm.
how EA was doing their marketing, but they did it much better than what Undisputed is doing. Because my thing is, when
Yeah.
you make fans feel like they're included, that's marketing right there. Because once fans feel that they're
Mhm.
included in what's going on, they're gonna start talking about your game. They're gonna start asking boxers to be in your game. They're gonna start actually helping your game sell. These are things you got to do. Because you don't notice that your game is starting to pick up steam, even though nobody really seeing like major gameplay. Your game is picking up steam.
Yeah.
Because when I was
I
with
mean, I've already had.
Round for Round didn't have nothing. They weren't showing nothing, just some renders and stuff like that. And I kept saying, renders don't do nothing. For after a while, people gonna start saying, "Hey, where's the actual fight and where's the actual characters? Where's the gameplay at?" And that's what they start asking for a lot. And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yo, I can't get mad at them. They used to get mad, and you can't get mad, especially when you got. I think they were like 2 or 3 years in, and still nothing to show. Now fans like, what's going on? And that's
Mhm.
crazy to me. I always tell this is what I tell people: don't come to the table talking about something when you don't have a playable model, because people
Yeah.
gonna see it and then they're gonna be like, I want to invest in it. Some people gonna say that. Then you're gonna, when you try to get sponsors and stuff, they want to see a model. And once you have that model, that makes everything better and easier for people to start putting money into it. You got people actually out there that gives money to people. For my for
Mhm.
I've been on Showbiz channel a couple of times. He got this guy, everybody keeps saying it's Dave Chappelle, but I doubt it. They got, I forget his name, but he gives Showbiz money just for talking. He gets Showbiz sometimes like he'll give him 30,000, 40,000. Think he gave him 150,000. And Showbiz kind of doing, he's doing like, help me get this many views and stuff for my channel, and you might be one of the ones that win it. But I hate the way that he does
Uh
his
huh.
thing. And nobody don't call him
Yeah.
out on it because it's not random. He picks a person that he likes or feel deserving to make his story sound good. Be like, oh, such and such won the giveaway, and he's disabled or whatever. I know he might be
Yeah.
disabled, but you got to be fair with the community. If you saying you
Exactly.
getting a certain amount of people, you should find a way to let it be a random pick for somebody.
Mhm.
Because if my channel is booming, everything I do will be random, a random person, unless I do my giveaway like that. I'm gonna give it to this person or that person. But if it's supposed to be a random giveaway, let it be a random giveaway. That's what I was like.
Mhm.
Showbiz doing a lot of it seemed like stuff that I don't like. So I'm like, yo, I had to like look at his channel like randomly, not like constantly watch his shows no more, not support him like that. I have nothing
Yeah.
really against him except for where he's trying to take boxing. And I respect people, you know, they like other sports, but let that other sport be that sport and let boxing be what boxing is. Stop trying to make them both
Yeah,
saying one thing. That becomes boring.
they should all be unique. Don't force one
Exactly.
to work like the other.
Exactly. Yeah. So what's going on with you today? What you had going on today?
Um, Nothing really. Probably just gonna work on the boxing game. I'm not gonna talk about what I'm working on, like publicly, because you know what I'm working on. But I
Yeah,
won't say anything yet to the public. But we, all I can say is things are changing, and it's gonna get better from here.
yeah. That's what I was
So
trying to
yeah.
put out before, that companies got to stop giving fans, if something's not complete, don't give nothing out to the fans, because their expectations gonna keep going higher and higher. Now what you did? What, I want to see more and stuff like that. No, you gotta give yourself some room so you got something real meaty that you could give to the public, and
Mm-hmm.
then it keeps building upon that.
Mm-hmm.
Like with you, you're still like really trying to build things together, and you give if you get a public, they're gonna
Yeah.
start asking for more and more, especially the more fans you get. Then they're gonna start, oh,
Mm-hmm.
then they're gonna start trying to make you feel bad or talk bad about you, to try to be like, well, your product must be garbage or something, you don't want to show it. Stop the nonsense. People have been saying that
Yeah.
for
I see
years.
that a lot. I see that a lot with CDS, like uh, the overhand servers, like
Yeah,
overhand interactive. People are like, "Oh, your game must not be good. Where's the progress at? You guys have been silent for a long time. Where's this progress at? It must not be good. This game's dead." Like, no, shut your mouth. They're working on the game. They're not going to
yeah,
show things like every month or every week. They have to go silent for a little bit and really focus on what they need to add.
yeah. Overhand boxing, I like, yeah, what they're doing,
Yeah.
and I think they should have waited to show anything really, because even though they saying they got something, I would have just say we're making a boxing game. That's it. I want to show no characters, no nothing. We're making a boxing game,
Mhm.
and it'll be out when
Yeah.
it will be out. It just, you build up
Mhm.
anticipation and hype, and that, what's this other game? I always forget the name of it. The one that they were saying Claimer and Cut was the voice of
Claimers.
the. What'd you say?
Uh, Claimers. Voice. The one that has Claimer in it.
It's not
Or I
Claimer.
think has Claimer in it.
No, it's not Claimer. I got an article that says it's not Claimer, but everybody thought it was Claimer Uncut, and it got it's supposed to be a story driven game. Um,
Truthbound.
it's Truth Bound. Yeah, they should
Yeah.
have waited. They
Truthbound
should have.
interactive.
Yeah, they should have waited a little more so they could actually, if they's going to show something, just say we got a game coming out. You ain't got, if you saying we got a game coming out and you ain't show nothing, no expectations there already. But once you start showing characters and stuff, expectations start going high. So no, just say we
Yeah.
got a game coming out. You know, you might want to show a render or something like that. But other than that, that's it. Don't show no type of gameplay, or if it's a cinematic anything. Because especially if you're doing a cinematic and that's not what the game gonna look like, that's what people gonna think the game look like.
Yeah.
Because that's a trick
What
that I
happens
learned.
after?
I learned from EA. That's one of the things. That's why I say easy
Mhm.
EA could poison certain people. Because I was trying, like with round for round, I was saying, you want to get a lot of people. I said, hire a cinematic person Let him make a beautiful looking boxing game, even if that's not how your game gonna be. That's what fans gonna expect. And I was
Yeah.
kind of playing. I was kind of playing the company, and I was playing the um, the boxing fans, but I was really working for the boxing fans because if you put the game on like that, that's what fans want. They want that oh, them cinematics is good.
Mhm.
This boxing game gonna be good. So that means you gotta step up your you gotta ramp up what you putting out.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing about with round for round, they did they put out I don't really remember them really. Oh yeah, they start putting out little clippings. But they didn't start out with nothing real major that really make caught people out. It's just that when they heard Ash and the round tables and stuff like that, and they was talking about the realism and stuff like that, authenticity, and Will try to brand authenticity the way he wanted it to be, but that's not enough. Because I heard you could use that
Yeah.
when you say authenticity, you could say, well, authenticity is little things that in boxing it don't gotta literally be the whole realism in boxing. No, that's authenticity is what you see in real boxing. They trying to rebrand it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Authentic means authentic. It
exactly.
is supposed to be what you see, not in terms of graphics. Like it's authentic to how boxers look in real life, not how they fight in real life. No, that's not the same thing. That's not what it means. You know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, because they trying to distance the word realism and simulation. They try to distance that, but as Ash has said them words numerous times. I even had a video
Mm-hmm.
that I had when I pulled a clip out of which when Ash said realism, and he wanted hyper realism. Oh, hyper realism means you want it to be up there, like really realistic, and that's beyond what Will's saying authenticity. And I guess Will
Mm-hmm.
is trying to use his status over Ash, and Ash as the owner let him bump that.
Yeah,
My thing is
that was
because I
kind of
was
messed up.
yeah, because me as a former business owner, I know I'm business right now, but as a former business owner, I respect the person if they got ideas that can help the business, but I'm smart enough to know when that person ideas don't help my business. Because a lot
Mm-hmm.
of things I was telling Ash stuff that can help the game succeed.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
I
were
mean,
like
what'd you say?
you were trying to help Ash.
I really
Like
was.
you said yesterday, you were helping make the team. You're saying get this guy, get that guy, hey, get that guy. He can help with this, this, and this. And then he blocked you for no reason. And he went off on his own way.
Yeah,
Let it fall apart. I don't know
cause
what that was all about. That
yeah,
was
cause I
pure
know,
charity by Ash.
yeah, cause I know Ash. He has some type of confidence in me because he will ask me certain things like, and whoever took over the Still City Twitter account is I think is one of the
Mm-hmm.
content creators or something. Or I know after Ash, Will Kinsler, Raxzilla took over the account, and he was saying Ash no longer deals with this account. I'm dealing with it right now, and he's telling me you can't ask Ash certain questions, or you if you got anything to say it straight to me. Well, I gotta talk to you. Me and Ash already had a relationship that we could talk to each other. Why do I gotta
Yeah.
go through you when I had the owner of the company? Because you trying to filter out what I'm saying, and I already know your mindset. You got that EA mindset. Because he was telling me, well,
That
because when I was talking to Ash, I got him the boxer reg, the CompuBox. I got all them guys. They used to literally talk to me because I was talking to them when I was
mm-hmm,
with round for round. So I say, yo, this other team is making a game. They say, all right, so hook us up. So I got them
mm-hmm,
guys in the game. And I was trying to tell Ash different things of different companies that wanted to be a part of the game. And I'm like, I'm not telling Will this stuff because Will is gonna go to the left with anything I say. I saw how Will was. Will didn't care nothing about me. No matter if you looked out for him or not, that was the relationship. Like he said, our EA so-called friendship is our EA so-called friendship. It has nothing to do with what I'm doing now. And I'm like, wow. That's what
mm-hmm.
it felt like. I'm like, wow. So I'm like, even he got asked. I don't know what he told Ash. Ash stopped talking to me on Twitter. He stopped talking to me in the emails because Ash he'll send me a email and say Happy Holidays or How you feeling, Poe, or something like that. And people don't believe me. I could pull it up. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you just saying that." How we know? Post it. That's the craziest thing when people be telling me they try to doubt me and they know I'm not going to post a conversation or certain things. They be like, "Why you can't post it?" Even in the Discord, they always tell you not to post certain things, but the mods to say, "Well, why can't you post what Ash said?" Because y'all always say you shouldn't post certain things, and Ash is
Mm-hmm.
y'all boss. Why would I post things that was private between me and him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
but I
doing it
was
out of respect.
yeah, and I wasn't doing stuff. Ash wasn't doing nothing negative, and we had that like,
Mm-hmm.
well, all right, because like I remember Ricky Hatton. I didn't like the way Ricky Hatton looked, and I was saying it over and over. So as he DM'd me and say, "Poe, don't worry about it. We still early in development. We're gonna fix that." He had to tell me that, but he felt he had to because he respected
Mm-hmm.
my opinion. But
Yeah.
it's people on the team that made sure that we didn't have. They tried to knock that down. They didn't want us to talk to each other. And I'm like, so that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's like
What'd you
that's the
say?
only thing I'm worried about for my game is hiring people. Like, what if they don't have the same like mindset as me or you, or like the same passion about boxing? Like that's why I haven't really tried to get developers and try to stay like close to myself, is because I don't know if people would want to help, or like, how do I say it? Kind of like
Oh,
what happened to Undisputed.
yeah,
Like people.
I know exactly what you could do. It's called a filling out process. You fill out the person, see how they think, ask them certain questions. Then you monitor, like semi monitor them, see how they post. Like on
Mhm.
LinkedIn, you can ask somebody, or just see how they think, or you know,
Yeah,
go into one of these groups. I don't know if you ever been on Art Station.
I
You
think
ever?
I've checked out art a couple of times just
Yeah,
for the concepts of what people have done.
yeah. Art Station, they have like developers there, and they got little groups in there. Just see how the people think, and then you just throw little questions out there, and questions like, um, what do you think about a boxing game, and um, how do you think you will be able to implement realism for the community without there being a
Hmm.
problem? Questions like that. And then you see how they respond and stuff like that. You know that their passion is just as great as yours. Or you ask them about a boxing match or
Hmm.
something. You see this boxing match, is that
Yeah,
boxing match, which that's when you start and you see how they answer. Like if they answer with a lot of enthusiasm and stuff like that, you got them. That's the person you want. And
yeah. I just
it's
need. I need to
what'd you say?
go ahead. I said, I just need to find people who are enthusiastic about boxing and try to get something together. Maybe not right now since I still want to kind of work in private,
Yeah.
but later on, once I feel more confident with the game, then I'll probably branch out and try to find people who are passionate about boxing, who know game development, and we could get a team going and help get pound for pound going even faster in development.
You can keep talking. I gotta. Could you I'll be right back. I got a package that came.
Okay. Kind of, I'm kind of talking about like the ESBC development team, like how, like before they had passionate boxers, like they had passionate developers who were really interested in boxing. Like, they really loved the sport of boxing. They absolutely loved it. They were making sure ESBC what felt like boxing. And like I said, I'm not going to branch out yet for developers. I'll probably hold off on that part. But once it's in a better state and I feel like I'm ready, I'll go out and try to get passionate boxing fans on board who know game development. As long as I have people, or as long as we can get people who know boxing and who know coding, one studio, are willing to talk to boxers like Poe, then I think they can make a really great game. I think I want to take Pound for Pound into a sim direction. I mean, not wanting to, I already am, but expanding upon that idea with other people who are also passionate about boxing, like me and Poe and all the other, all the other guys. Like I know there's a lot of people out there who love the sport of boxing, and to work with them, if I get to work with those other guys, then pound for pound will get better. So I think, I mean, if people want to if there is people out there who listen to this, like developers, like Konami, 2K, even EA, I'm not opposed to EA. If they want to make a boxing game or kickboxing game or an MMA game, get people in your studio who know boxing or kickboxing or MMA, depending on the game franchise that you're wanting to get into. Get people who are passionate about that, and then if they don't know coding that well, guide them a little bit. It's like, hey, you can do this, this, and this. The best bet for if any companies, find this by luck, perhaps, and want to are thinking about making a boxing game, get real fans on board, get passionate fans on board who know how to code. Because once you have people who are passionate about something, they'll stay loyal to your project and they'll really put in the work. That's where I want to take pound for pound. Get passionate fans who know game development on the team. Not yet, not yet. I can probably figure a lot of things out, myself. Not a lot, but some things out myself. And I kind of want to stay private for now. But expanding upon getting real fans on board, that would be a big step. Getting passionate boxing fans in, like, the pound for pound development, or having 2K reaching out to game developers who love boxing, or Konami, or EA, or even Capcom. I know they make Street Fighter, and that's a 2D fighting game, but they could expand upon that and try to make a 3D boxing game with passionate fans. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but that's all I had to say. That's all I had to say.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, you doing a good job. Yeah, it's just
Thank you.
I'm thinking like these developers they need to really push it because I feel like if you see all these developers getting fired from jobs, I would be like, Dad, I gotta really do a good job with what I'm doing. And my thing is,
Mhm.
and my thing as a person, because I pay attention to everything. A lot of people like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I can give you the websites where I get my information from. A lot everything that I say, I could back it up. People be so defensive for the wrong reasons. I'm trying to get a better
Mhm.
boxing game, and you say, no, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not a developer. Um, if you read and study, I'm an older person, so if I've been gaming since almost like 20 years out of when boxing, I mean when video games were made, 30 years, and my whole years wasn't only just playing the video game. My years was like I'm reading on this and that. Cause my thing is when a developer tell me they can't do something, I'm going to try to find out can they if they telling me the truth or a lie. And half the time I find out they can do it. I used to do that with EA all the
Mhm.
time. EA say, "Oh, we can't give you that many boxes because it's going to do this or slow down this and that." And I'm like, "No, you can give us more than what you're saying."
Mhm.
Even when developers be saying it now, they be trying to say, "Oh, we can't give you like you can create 200 boxes and some and stuff like that." Yes, you can. We have it's called the cloud. If you use cloud in the and you can still use it on a regular thing, but cloud you can make over 1,000 boxes because it's going up into a cloud system. And the
Mhm.
way that undisputed is set up, especially for the PC, it's working off of one main computer. We basically downloading off of the computer that you have. So that means
Yeah.
it's a big hard drive that you got. So we can make more than what 25 boxes that you give us. That's a lazy development. It was games that were generic or back in the days they looked at okay, and you can make over 200 boxes. Characters. This games today you can make that many. But it's the
Mhm.
developers that keep saying, "No, that's going to be taxing." Stop letting, because sometimes when developers tell the owners or whatever, the owner is not aware of how the things are set up. It's you can do these things because they a lot of them because I'm pretty sure because the quality of undisputed the graphics wise it went down some. So that right there, I knew that was a developer that said something. Oh, you got over 200 boxes?
Yeah.
It's going to be taxing on the hard drive. No, it's not. That's a lie. They keep repeating what they have been repeating so long while they were making games. They're bringing it to the modern age. Come on, stop. You sound like an old man that was in a time machine and he came to the future and still using the same mentality. Makes no sense.
Yeah. No. And I don't think boxer count would really impact the game's performance because it's different. It's not like the game is being played in one whole level. Like it's not really like levels, but it's different as um themes. So there's different aspects being used. So it's not, from what I've seen, it's not loading everything all the time. You can separate having the boxers loaded that aren't being used. You can unload those and just load what you have selected. They can expand upon the create a boxer mode to have more than 200 boxers you can create, like up into the thousands, like you said, like 1,000 creative boxers. That would be sick.
It would.
And you can have like your own roster. You can make fighters that aren't in the game yet.
Exactly.
Expand as much as you'd like. But I don't think there's really a hardware problem. As long as you're not loading the boxers, all your boxers in the gameplay scene, there shouldn't be a reason why that would tax performance.
Yeah, not like I was trying to tell them, they need to they need more boxes in a get, like creative boxes and stuff like that. So, because how they say, and this is one of their things, we don't have enough boxers to go in every division or weight class. That's what the creative boxes could be for. We could create the boxes that we want, like realistic boxes or whatever, and we could put them in the different weight classes. And then when they're in career mode or
Yeah.
whatever, they start integrating into the career. Because that's how
Mm-hmm.
EA Fight Night Round 3 had. You could create boxes and they integrate into the career mode
Roster.
if you want to. It's an option. But my thing is, look where we at in like in we're in a modern age. It's like 10, 15. So that was Fight Night Round 3. So we're like probably like 15 years in after that. And you still don't have a better creative boxer mode, implementation mode, or whatever in your game. That shows that you really wasn't paying attention or doing your research. And you can't, I don't
Mm-hmm.
really blame it on Ash because that's what his team is for, to run ideas by him.
Yeah.
Because they pull that
I
help
feel
Ash,
like
but oh,
there was
what you saying?
the, there was footage of a better creative fighter system, the ESBC days. I feel like it was more in depth and it looked a
Yeah,
lot better. Like fighter, the creative fighter model, it looked more realistic. I don't
yeah.
know what happened to that, but a lot of things are, yeah.
And
I'm not going to go off on the undefeated
the
champion.
damage system is what I don't like too, because they say, oh, we can't put a lot of damage in the game and stuff like that. Nobody's asking you for Mortal Kombat type damage. People want
Mm-hmm.
what they see in boxing, and to me, that's not an M-rated thing. That what you see in boxing. Mortal Kombat is, but you still see little kids playing Mortal Kombat. It's like
Exactly.
it's like whoever on this team, like really, they really don't like Ash. It's like they really don't like him. Like, why is you taking these
They
things?
don't like him.
It's like they really don't, because it's like Ash has some revolutionary stuff that fans would have liked in the ESPC
Mm-hmm.
stage, and then you come and strip down all this stuff. Oh, that's going to make the ratings and everything go apart. So what? You still gonna get them fans if it got M rated on it. Like I keep saying, Mortal Kombat got an M rated. I don't know if they still do, but I know at one point it had an M rating on it, and it still sold well because those little kids still was getting the game. Their parents were still buying it for them.
Yeah.
And the damage that you see on boxes, like what they had in the ESBC stage, they're showing the stills and stuff, the renders. That wasn't enough to get an M rating on it.
That was
boxing
like,
boxing is a sport, and you don't MMA.
hmm
They don't put no the games don't put an M rating on. I don't think. But I'm like, yo, what are you? What's going on? Who in your on your team trying to mess you up? Oh yeah, this is what I want to say on another show that I'm gonna do because I'm a fan of like martial arts movies and like the old
hmm
drive through movies. I've been trying to get companies to make a video game inspired by them older games like Five Deadly Venoms and stuff like that. You put that in the game, that's $1 billion idea to me. Because you got people from all generations that still love the movies. And to me, if you get a
hmm
game and you implement all that in there, like fighters got different styles, animal styles, and stuff like the insect, whatever styles in it, that's going to make money. People like stuff like that. And the MMA fan base is going to jump on that. The boxing fan base is going to jump on that. See, that's why we said I'm an idea man. I
yeah.
got a lot of ideas. I was trying to
Trust me,
contact
I
you.
know.
Yeah, I was trying to
I've seen
contact you.
the Fight Night Champion wish list. That's
Oh,
half of it though.
yeah. Well, that the original one, that's like a lot is my ideas and a lot is from the fan base. I mean the community. Because my thing was I always try to pull in the community. I find somebody somebody invincible here. Best member a game has to be undisputed three. What do you
It
mean
is.
undisputed
It
three?
is.
What do you mean
So
undisputed three? You talking about
UFC
THQ or
3,
EA?
I think they're talking about THQ.
Oh,
Oh wait, is that someone in the chat or?
yeah, undisputed two. And it was a game that I liked. That was a Dad, what's the name of that game? It had Hoost in it. The I forget his first name, but it was Hoost and all of them in it. And it was some Grand Prix. And I love that game.
K1 World Grand
What'd you say?
K1 World Grand Prix 2003.
No, it's something no, but it's like MMA, but it's a Grand Prix. It's basically kickboxing to me. And I love that game. I used to play that game a lot. I used to get mad because when I had it, my son wasn't old enough to play it. He was still a baby. And I'm laughing now. But my son, he's a gamer, but he's not really into sports like that. But he'll play it. But I was like, Dad, man, I said, I said I wasted myself on you. You both have been you. He said Pride FC. What you think about that? Invincible said that. Oh,
Oh
that's
wait,
it. That's it. That's it.
how
That's the
do
game.
the
It's K1 Grand Prix.
yeah K1 Grand Prix? I played
Yeah,
that game. I loved it.
yeah. I love that game. I think I played like
It's
three
so
versions
fun.
of it that I like. Yeah. I
Oh,
wonder why I
Invincible's in
can't.
the chat.
You can see. Can you see the chat?
I see like chat with event moderators, but I don't see his messages.
I can't see it. It's pop ups that happen. I wonder why it's doing like this. Because I usually can
Huh.
see the chat.
Yeah, yesterday I was able to see his messages, but I don't see him on my side.
Oh, you can see the chat on your side.
No, I can't see his messages. I can see like a event moderator's chat, but I don't see like Invincible's messages.
Oh, it's good, but looks arcadey
Huh.
and not that realistic. Yeah, it did. At that time, for some reason, I don't know why I blocked out the arcadey about it. The chat is only seen by moderators. Oh, so that means you're very familiar with this. Oh, I didn't know that. That's a change up because I used to go see it. I think because I got the moderator setting on. Yeah, yeah. That was. There's a lot of like that's another thing I'll be saying. Ash should bring all his developers in on a Saturday and say, "All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do research on all past games and what worked for all past combat games, and then we're going to look at other ideas and put them together." That's what they should do.
That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing for my game.
Yeah,
I've been
that's what I
playing
do with a lot of my
Game 1
ideas too.
and Fight
I
Night,
mean, because
like
sometimes
older Fight Night.
yeah, I say chat GTP. What was the best, the most talked about things in past combat games? Then it'll give me a list, and I know that's just a random list, but I look through it and I'm like, all right, that's good. Then I say, I do it again, the same post that I did, and they give me some more, and I get ideas like that. Then I start doing my own research. But a lot of people they be trying to say,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, Poe, them ain't really your ideas and stuff like that." Man, shut up! I've been doing this forever. Only there's a lot of boxing games, but less realistic kickboxing games. That's true. My thing about a kickboxing game coming out, they're gonna have to sneak it on people. They're gonna have to let a game
Mm-hmm.
like a boxing or MMA game do well, and let that be like a side game that's implemented
Wait,
in the game.
Invincible. Wait, was Invincible saying something about a kickboxing game,
What'd you say?
like wanting a realistic one? Was
Yeah,
Invincible saying something about wanting a realistic kickboxing game?
yeah. And you gotta like,
Invincible. I'm making a kickboxing. Oh,
what'd you say?
I said Invincible. There will be a kickboxing game in Pound for Pound. I promise. It'll be realistic. Just let me make the boxing first, and then I'll make your dream come true. Okay? Let me make the boxing first, and then I'll get your kickboxing game out, man. I'll get your kickboxing mode just for you.
My thing is this is a question I want to ask to you. I mean, yeah, specifically ask you. If your boxing
Uh huh.
game does well and people like really love it, do you think that's gonna force you to stick to what you don't want to really stick to like that? Like you know you wanted to make the boxing game, but then you know you also plan to make the kickboxing and the other games. Make it in a mini game. Yeah, that's what I was. That's how you like on the side, like make it like a boxer going to into a random gym and there's kickboxing in it. That could be an idea that opens the
Like
door
for the
to,
story mode.
yeah, like a story mode or whatever, and it like introduces them to you making the kickboxing or MMA or whatever game. And they'd be like, "Dad, you did that so well. I can't wait to see a kickboxing game." Say, "Oh, you said a
Mm-hmm.
kickboxing game? Oh, I'm working on that anyway." So stuff like that. You gotta like ease stuff into on people because some people would be like they don't really pay it no mind, but the person that's a kickboxing fan, he's gonna pay it more attention to it. But like a person that's a boxer
Yeah.
fan, he'll go in there and do the kickboxing and stuff, but he probably not. Oh, this just random stuff. And but then it gets bigger and bigger, and then that's how you do it. That's how companies should do it.
Yeah.
I
I
really
mean, like
think
I
that'll
said
work.
yesterday, I'll I'll offer those other disciplines as a mode, so you can. It won't be like a C school or a separate game for kickboxing. It'll all be in one game. Realistic boxing, realistic kickboxing, and realistic MMA. They'll all be in one game. It'll all be under one ecosystem. So you won't have to buy another pound for pound like pound for pound kickboxing or pound for pound mixed martial arts. No, it'll all be under one game.
Yeah, I can see how that could work,
Yeah. Mhm.
but you can't like really put it out there like that originally, because a lot of people they're gonna be like, his focus gonna be on too many things. He's not gonna. No, I can see how it could work, especially
Yeah.
you're gonna start off on PC until your money start building up.
Mhm.
So that'll work very well for a PC game. You know,
Yeah. I'll,
PC certain things work well on PC better than they do on consoles.
mhm. Yeah, I'll focus on boxing first, though. I won't make kickboxing alongside the boxing. I'll focus on boxing first, because that's what I said I'd make, boxing game. I'll
Yeah,
focus on boxing first.
yeah, because a lot of people they always be feeling like if they try to like if your game gonna be successful, very could be very successful. You're gonna be like, well, why focus on something else if this is successful? And what would you say to that?
Well, I'd say I think it'd be good to have variety in my game. That's why I'd want to focus on kickboxing after boxing.
Uh,
Because there's a lot of people that want a new boxing game, but I do see people who want a kickboxing game or or like a more realistic mixed martial arts game.
yeah,
That's why I'd want to provide more than just boxing, because there's people who want realistic kickboxing and realistic MMA. A lot of people want realistic boxing too, but there's people who want realistic kickboxing or realistic MMA. I want the team to represent all people in all disciplines, ideally.
okay, yeah. This is another thing that I think Undisputed missed out on. The fan base, the
Hmm.
ethnicity of different fan bases. You should have had more Chinese. We don't have no Chinese boxers yet, but I know they got some, but they don't have the main god. They
Yeah.
don't have the dragon. He should be in there. For one,
Hmm.
you got a lot of top rank boxers in your game, so that means and how can you forget jokers at the last minute? You got the dragon. You know what I'm talking about. A new what's his name? A new whatever. Um,
Oh,
he
no way, anyway.
yeah, Annoy. He's under top rank banner, and people he could get them. He could get his boxer in there. You need to get a new way and all the top Asian boxers in there. Try to get Pacquiao in there.
Yeah,
I don't even think they really went for Pacquiao like they should have went for. Because Pacquiao seemed like one of them guys that
Pacquiao would
you
have been
don't.
such a good addition.
Yeah, Pacquiao don't seem like he's a guy that really want a lot of money and stuff like that. And he's like easy to talk to. And they don't have let me see, there's African boxers, not African American. I'm talking about African boxers that they should have got. They have to get it's so many from different nations. When you represent these different nations, and like what's Calm always say, what's his name? I keep forget how I forget his name, but he was saying they need to put more Spanish boxes and Puerto Rican boxes in it, which is true because I helped them get a couple of them boxes because I reached out to them because when I was doing round for round, I had these boxes, but I said, see, my thing, I be talking to the boxers like I'm their consultant. I'm saying, don't sign to just one company. When they come to you with that
Hmm.
and I'm working for round. And I said, no, when companies come to you for just exclusive deal, don't take it. Just say I want to be so I could be in different games. So you be in different games and and it'll be easier for you to make more money and stuff like that. and some of the games you might not even want
Yeah.
to get money from. But I said, yeah, just get big DLC for different companies and stuff, you know. And they was like, yeah, you're right, you're right, you're right. Even I was talking to Jamel Herring. I don't know if you know what Jamel Herring is, but he's one of the people I told that to, and Undisputed signed to him, and I was trying to get in the early because I was talking to Clarissa Shields because we had her for round for round, and when I sent her a
Mhm.
message, I said, don't sign to one company. I said, even though you signed around around, I mean for round, um, when other companies approach you like ESPC, sign the contract to be in both companies. Don't let them no company make you exclusive. And I said, that's
Yeah.
how you make more money. And that means by you making more money, your DLC don't have to be sky high like some companies would do. And it's like, yeah, you
Mhm.
right. And they agree with. And that's what a lot of people don't realize, especially these companies, they don't realize these how you get boxers. Because even when I was talking to Ash, and I think that was more my idea, but I don't like to claim things. I was like, you could get a lot of more boxes because he was worried about getting boxes in general. That's why he started putting the MMA guys in there. He didn't want to pull them in again because he didn't want that to taint people' perspective of what the game was going to be. Because he was getting all these. I was like, Ash, why are you getting all these MMA boxes? He said, well, it's hard for me to get boxers in the game right now. He said, a lot of them want money up front and stuff, or a lot of them want money. And I said, this is how you do it. You tell them they will be DLC. Yeah, I'm responsible for the DLC talk, but you're not going to get major boxers without them getting some type of compensation for the image. And Ash at that point was an indie company. They're not an indie company right now. I don't care what they keep saying. They're not an indie company. And the way you
No,
get all
not at
these,
all.
no, not at all. And I will get them a little more space if they say they were a double A company. Like, all right, you're a double A company, but you're definitely not an indie company. If you look up the definition of
Yeah.
what an
No.
indie company is, it does not fit what Steel City is.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, what do you think Steel City has to do at this point to gain players' trust and bring them back in?
Um, I think they should be more open about decisions they were making. I think they should have an honest conversation with the players. They should be upfront with the problems that they've faced and be more is be more um be more upfront with what they're doing. No more sugarcoating. No more backtracking on your words about, oh, we're gonna make a sim boxing game. Wait, we never said it was gonna be authentic. We never said it's gonna be sim. Where are you guys getting that from? We never said that. No, you guys did. Like, quit with mixed messages. Quit sending mixed signals. Get more people involved who care about boxing. For your testers, get people who are passionate about boxing in your in the private test circle, and have your developers have more open conversations with the players and hear them out honestly. Because a lot of people have good ideas, but it seems like the developers don't listen to them. And if you want to get the trust of the players back, don't release new DLC. Honestly, don't release new DLC until your game is fixed. Until you have a game where players can really box, where boxers will really appreciate what you have. They won't shrug it off like, it kind of feels like fight night, or I've played something like this before. Make it unique, stand out, and Ash, please, please, for the love of everything, take back your game. Enforce your vision. Enforce what you were wanting. Don't let people tell you, oh, that's going to be too hard to do. Let's do this instead. You should stand up to them and be like, no, I want this. If you can't give me that, well, you're probably going to be fired. It's tough love, but it'll make the developers work a lot harder.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It's like he has to stand his ground on it for his game. This is your game. But developers say he can't do it, say, all right, well, I'll hire somebody that can do it. And he playing too much shuffling around. He keep changing positions for developers on his team. You know, they keep getting all these positions. And my thing is, no, hire people. Don't keep pushing people up just to make them feel better, like they're in school, like a gratification. If they had that skill, they had that skill. You shouldn't have to push them up. And my thing is, you gotta be honest with the developers that on your team. Be like, well, if you can't do it, I really have to hire somebody that can do it. Because
That's what should have been done a
yeah,
long
because
time ago.
I see Ash have like 2 or 3 mobile game developers on his team. I have nothing against mobile game developers, but when you're making a product that's basically supposed to be AAA quality, a mobile game developer should be the least of your in your thoughts or anything.
Worries.
I'm like, what's going
Yeah.
on?
They should only have mobile game developers if they want to make a mobile port of Undisputed. Otherwise, get them out of there.
No, and that's feeding a lot of people thoughts because a lot of people are already saying it look like a mobile game, which it doesn't. No matter how bad you want to say the game look, it don't look like a mobile game.
No, it doesn't look like a mobile game, but they have mobile game developers, and with that they say it looks like a mobile game. And if they didn't have those developers, they probably wouldn't be saying that.
No,
honestly,
I think it's like me and like a couple of other guys that feel the same way I do. That be doing their research, but I don't think the general public know that they have mobile game developers on the team too. Yeah, but I'm gonna do some research on the mobile game because I don't want to be that guy that they might make mobile games, but they probably have some type of history and originally for making AAA games. But all like they say, people always look at you for the last game that you did. So the last games that I saw is they would make a mobile game. So that's why I'm saying that they could have made AAA games. I don't know yet, and I'll be back with that when I look it up. But yeah, I really want this game to succeed. And it's like they're starting to slow roll. Oh, this is another thing I wanted to talk about. I seen their work package, the package that they get, and I know if somebody from their team here, oh boy, they're gonna be trying to hide stuff and everything, or saying I don't know what I'm talking about. But I seen their work package, and the way whoever customized that work package, I work for them too. It seems like they get almost limited vacations and stuff like that. And this is the thing that bothered me at first. When people first start working for Steel City, I was there when they started really grabbing developers. I was like there. Joe, people was taking vacations. I'm like, hold up. If you just start working for a company, who asked for a vacation that close when you just they was playing with Ash early? Because EA wouldn't never let that
Wow.
happen. EA is real strict. They're like, you know, let us basically get this game done. Like when it's come to like we're at the tail end of the game, then some of the developers start taking vacations. But other than that, people was taking vacations in the game just in its early process. I'm like, what's going on?
That's messed up.
It
That's not how
is.
it should work. You should work for a vacation, get the game done, then take some time off and
Exactly.
relax.
That's how
Not like, oh,
jobs.
okay, I just made
That's
okay,
how
I just
jobs
made
work. You
movements and
got
I'm gonna take a 2 week vacation.
what'd you say?
It's like they can't be like, oh, I just made the movement work. Hey, Ash, I'm gonna take a 2 week vacation. Like, no, what are you doing?
That was crazy. And then
Come
whoever
on.
I forget I don't know if it's the HR or whoever they make up the contract for the job. It's like they was in on the whole thing because these guys they was taking vacation after vacation. It's like nobody should have that many vacations when you first start with a company. I know
Is
Ash was
that why
trying
the
to
game
make
was
it.
delayed a bunch?
What'd you say?
Is that why the game was delayed so much?
I think so.
Or not?
And I could see
Yeah.
after if some of them caught COVID or whatever, or I know
Uh huh.
COVID slowed them down too. But
Yeah.
they you they were taking vacations after everything was done with. And I'm like, yo, what
No.
are y'all doing?
No. That's not how you're supposed to run a business.
Exactly. I help
Man.
run businesses and I had businesses.
Uh-huh.
Yo, that is crazy. I was like, that is crazy. They say, yeah, Aimbox on vacation. And Aimbach, that's my boy. He's pretty cool, but sometimes I be getting mad at Aimbach because he kind of um he's like too possessive of the game when he's not really a boxing fan. Sometimes Aimbach will listen to
Mm-hmm.
you. Then sometimes he let other people get in his head. Cause I used to tell him because with people, this is what a lot of people do. Hey, you know the information they know, but you didn't go to school like they did. Those same books are out here that's in the school. It's just that you might have hands-on, teaching with it. I might a
Yeah.
person like me, I know the things, but I know the wording and stuff like that. And being that I'm an older gamer, I was looking at more things because my thing is when you tell me something can't work, I got to make sure you're telling me the truth. So I'm gonna do my research. And a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
I do my research and I see you are lying to me and the public. So yeah, anybody he's okay, but I think he's too possessive, and he wants to be in control. And my thing is, if somebody's more skilled than you, because I think aimbot his thing is he's just good in Unity, creating a game in Unity. But my thing, and from rumors that they got people that's coming in for Unreal Engine. So that means aimbot is going to have to be under somebody, or he's learning because we don't really see aimbot that much. Because I remember he used to be in on Discord a lot, but I don't know what aimbot's really been doing behind the scenes. He could have been going to school to learn Unreal Engine. So
Maybe.
if they learn Unreal Engine, man, that'll be help a lot with a lot of things that people asking for, but that don't necessarily mean they're gonna put in the
It'll
things
be
that
good.
we're asking for.
Yeah.
while you're in school, you're just
That's
learning
it.
Unity. Did you ever ask about
Yeah.
Unreal Engine?
Um. No, not really. I kind of just
Mm,
wanted to stick with Unity because I think
yeah,
it's
but
worked
I
the best
think
for me so far.
yeah, but I think when the way you gave that answer, he's like, no, not really. I got that answer from a couple of developers because they said
Okay.
Unreal Engine is kind of harder to learn, especially when all
Yeah.
you know is Unity. Now you got to reprogram your mind for Unreal Engine.
Mm.
Is that
Yeah.
it?
I mean, tried I've tried in the past, but it wasn't much of anything. So that's why I said like, no, not really. 'Cause
Oh,
I mean, I
when
kind of was, but it wasn't anything major. It was just to mess around in. But
you feel
yeah,
that you have more success with Unity because of your knowledge, it was easy to adapt to Unity than it was with Unreal Engine.
yeah. Because before I
Mm.
did Unity, I did I was making games in Roblox Studio for
Um,
I want to say about a year or two. And that coding, like the way that works, it was similar to Unity. So that's why I went with Unity because it was more similar in how it all works. I could look at Unreal Engine maybe after Alpha Town releases, maybe like an engine upgrade, like to update the game to that engine. But for
yeah,
now, Unity is going to be the engine
yeah,
we're going to stay with.
yeah.
Or I'm going to stay with.
It's like you building. It's like you building a house, and then you got to tear it down and rebuild it again. You don't want to go through that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
No,
I'm
not
laughing
right now.
because you literally gave me the same answer other developers gave me. Because a lot of people
Oh,
don't realize I really do be talking to developers behind the scene. I could give in
yeah.
no, I'm not gonna do that. And on what's that? LinkedIn, I'll be talking to developers. Because there was one developer, I think this guy he's rich and he make movies and stuff, but I think he wanted to dabble in making boxing games or games in general. And I was telling him I was giving him some pointers and stuff, and it was something that I pulled that gave him. And I think I gave it to him. He said, "All right." He said, "All right. When I start my game, I'm gonna contact you." And he said, "If you want to work with me, let me know." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'll work with you." I said, "No problem." He said, "All right. So I'm gonna contact you." That was like a year ago. He ain't contact me,
Oh,
so I don't know. So, but everybody give me the same thing. Like they're working Unity, and that to a person that their first thing was working with Unity, they talk like when they like Unity is a downgrade for them, and it's easier to adapt to. And I'm like, Dad, going
mm-hmm.
that went sideways because I was looking for the same answer I got from a person that works on Unity, uh, and they wanted to go up to Unreal Engine. But Unreal
Yeah.
Engine feel like they going down when they pick it Unity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
I
Unity
mean,
constantly giving upgrades, right?
yeah.
How is the
Better than
upgrades? Is the
Roblox.
upgrades actually making the game better? Like, far as trying to push it to be on par with like Unity. I mean, like Undisputed. I mean, Dad, going Unreal Engine. What's wrong with me?
Um, yeah. I mean, I could push it. I could push Unity to be on that level. And I don't think the engine matters. I think it's just what the person does with the engine, if that
That's
makes
what I
sense.
figured.
You
That's what I
know?
figured. I think it's up
Yeah.
really up
That's what
to the
Unity.
yeah. I think it's up to the developers because I've seen a lot of beautiful games using Unity.
Mhm. Yeah. So it's not necessarily the engine; it's just what the person does with the engine. And
Yeah.
I like Unity more, so I'm just using that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we went over the 200. I mean the 2 hour mark. So I think I'm about to end this show. You got
All
anybody you
right.
want to shout out?
For today, I don't think so. I got the shout out I want, like I shout out people I wanted to yesterday. So I think I'm good on shout outs today.
You can shout them out
Maybe my
again
parents.
today. Shout out your Discord. Shout out people that
Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah. Uh, Shout out to my Discord server. Thank you for supporting me on this journey for pound. Shout out to my parents. Thank you for pushing me to be a better son. Uh, Again, shout out to Jeff Sequence, Kenpo 5.0. Without that association, I wouldn't be in this spot right now. Shout out to my instructor, Mr. Shepard. Without him, I wouldn't be a confident guy trying to go out on this venture. Shout out to my sparring instructor, Mr. Blocketer. Without him, I wouldn't really know how to spar. Man, there's a lot. Shout out to you, Poe. I want to shout you out because you've been helping me with this boxing game behind the scenes, making sure it's realistic, giving me pointers here and there on how to make sure it's a good boxing game. Um,
Thanks, appreciate that.
and just shout out to anyone in general who's supported me. Shout out to people who are making boxing games. I want to shout you out because if there's people out there making boxing games, you're doing a good deed.
That's it.
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna make a couple of shout outs. I want to shout out to my wife, my son. Shout out to my moms, my stepmoms, my father. Shout out to everybody out there that's been supporting me for over the years and try to push me to make videos. Um, Shout out to all the people that support my wish list, and I want people to sign my petitions and stuff because we gotta get people on board and stop letting people that's not really into boxing like we are try to stop making our sport be what it is. Um, and I have another wish list. I mean, another petition I need y'all to sign so we could let companies know that we will support a realistic boxing game. Please support my petitions, and I want to shout out to my brother. I call him my brother, Beast. Shout out to JMMA. Shout out to the people that came and listened to this podcast. Appreciate you. Um, Shout out to Ash, Ash IB. Shout out to the Ash IB brothers because they wasn't scared, even though a lot of companies were scared that EA was gonna make a boxing game. And Ash said he didn't care. He's gonna make his boxing game. That's the Ash that we need back. And shout out to all the real people that's real about how they feel about things and what they want in a boxing game and a sports game in general. And shout out to everybody. Hope y'all have a good Sunday and rest up for the rest of the week. And I'm on my journey to try to make more videos, podcasts, and I'm trying not to make them be I'm trying to make my videos be repetitive and saying the same thing. So I'm gonna work on that more. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you for having me on today, Poe.
I appreciate you, man.
Anytime. Have a good day.